Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Vipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 5th of June. Indian Space Agency launches its heaviest rocket and satellite. Afghan intelligence released new findings on Kabul funeral bombings. And Nepal Parliament to vote for new Prime Minister on Tuesday. And now for all the details. 4 suicide bombers were gunned down in India's Kashmir on Monday as they tried to storm a paramilitary camp in a pre-dawn attack. The security forces also recovered a huge cache of arms and ammunition after the encounter, which lasted for about an hour.
Security forces on early Monday morning gunned down 4 heavily armed militants as they tried to storm a camp of India's paramilitary Central Reserve Police Force in Bandipora district of northern Jammu and Kashmir province. The militants hurled a grenade and opened fire at a guard post but were killed in retaliatory firing that lasted 45 minutes. 4 AK-47 rifles, grenades, grenade launchers and some incendiary material were recovered from the militants.
And we were able to engage the Fedayins successfully, and we were able to kill 4 Fedayins in an encounter that lasted for about 45 minutes. The Fedayins were armed with automatic weapons, grenades, grenade launchers, and also had incendiary material with them. Their intention obviously was to enter the camp and then to cause huge damage, and they were prepared for a long drawn-out battle.
Earlier on June 3rd, at least 2 army personnel were killed and 4 injured in an attack by militants on an army convoy in Anantnag district of the province.
Meanwhile, Indian Space Research Organization on Monday successfully launched the country's heaviest rocket, GSLV Mark III, which will place communication satellite GSAT-19 in its orbit.
Indian Space Research Organization or ISRO on Monday launched the country's heaviest rocket geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle Mark III or GSLV Mk3 from Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota Island in the Bay of Bengal Sea. Nicknamed Fat Boy, the GSLV Mk3 is a 3-stage vehicle designed to carry heavier communication satellites into the geosynchronous transfer orbit or GTO. ISRO took 15 years to develop the monster rocket, and if successful, India could reduce its dependence on other nations for the launch of heavier payloads.
Moving on to news from Afghanistan, Afghan intelligence has released its new findings regarding a series of blasts during a funeral in Kabul on Saturday in which 19 people were killed. The funeral was being held for a politician's son who was killed during a clash between police and anti-government protesters a day before.
Afghanistan's National Directorate of Security or the NDS on Monday claimed that suicide bombers in the series of blasts during a funeral ceremony in Kabul were all trained in Pakistan. The intelligence agency released its finding after arresting one of the remaining suicide bombers and 12 other suspected militants who were apparently detained during an operation on Monday. The explosions occurred at the funeral for Mohammad Salim Izzatyar, the son of Afghanistan's Deputy Senate Speaker Mohammad Alam Izzatyar. He died on Friday after being seriously injured in clashes during an anti-government protest over the devastating truck bomb attack in capital Kabul, which claimed at least 90 people. They managed to pass through strict security measures by placing the explosives inside their shoes. Disguised as funeral participants, they detonated the explosives among the praying participants, leaving scores of people dead or wounded. Saturday's blast shattered an uneasy calm which has descended after authorities blocked the streets of Kabul in a bid to prevent the repeat of bloody confrontation between protesters and police on Friday.
Moving on, the dilapidated condition of roads in Gilgit-Baltistan has hampered the tourism potential of the region. Locals blame the neglected attitude of the federal government of Islamabad towards any development in the region.
The poor condition of roads in Gilgit-Baltistan has not only made travelling a difficult task for the locals, but also adversely affected the tourism sector. Locals allege that the roads in the illegally occupied territory are damaged and there is no infrastructure development. They say the corrupt Pakistani establishment has left the region to rot under poor care and maintenance.
गिलगित बल्तिस्तान के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर तवज्जो दी जाए, सड़कों पर तवज्जो दी जाए तो गिलगित बल्तिस्तान में सियाहत का एक भूचाल आएगा। गिलगित बल्तिस्तान का चप्पा चप्पा खूबसूरत है, उसको देखने के लिए न सिर्फ मुल्क से बल्कि दीगर ममालिक से भी लाखों की तादाद में सियाह आ सकते हैं। शर्त यह है कि रोड की जो हालत है उसको बेहतर की जाए, मगर हमें अफसोस से फिर भी ये कहना पड़ता है कि गवर्नमेंट इस सिलसिले में दिलचस्पी नहीं रही। रोड गांव-गांव तक बनाना चाहिए, गांव-गांव तक रोड बनाने की दूर की बात, मगर
Gilgit-Baltistan is a beautiful spot. If properly developed, the region can bring huge revenue. Despite huge tourism potential, the lack of connectivity has kept the tourists off limits.
In news from Nepal, Nepal's parliamentary vote is scheduled to elect the new Prime Minister on Tuesday. The sole candidate for the prime ministerial election is Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba, who has wide political support.
Nepali Congress President Sher Bahadur Deuba is the sole candidate for the prime ministerial election. The parliamentary vote scheduled to elect the new Prime Minister will be held on Tuesday. According to the latest date, Deuba has the backing of 207 Nepali Congress lawmakers, 81 CPN Maoist Center lawmakers, 17 from the Nepal Loktantrik Forum, 3 from Nepal Communist Party United, 5 from several fringe parties and 1 independent parliamentarian. Deuba also reached out to the former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's Communist Party of Nepal-Unified Marxist-Leninist or the CPN-UML, from which it is learned that Oli has also asked Deuba to wait another 2 days. Madhesi parties like the Sanghya Samajwadi Forum Nepal, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party and the Rashtriya Janata Party Nepal have also extended their support to Deuba. With wide political support, Deuba could have a tough time accommodating all the parties in his cabinet if they wish to join the government.
Moving on, people across the globe on Monday marked World Environment Day with the theme Connecting People to Nature. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his message to mark the World Environment Day, said it was the right time to reaffirm commitment in protecting the environment and nurturing a better planet.
India on Monday celebrated World Environment Day with zeal and enthusiasm. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his message on World Environment Day, told his countrymen that it is the right time to reaffirm their commitment to protecting environment and nurturing a better planet. In capital New Delhi, Venkaiah Naidu, Minister of Housing and Urban Development, inaugurated the exhibition on segregation of wet waste and dry waste, a new initiative in solid waste management. He also launched Blue Green Pledge campaign in line with the Clean India movement, a campaign by the Indian government to clean the streets, roads and infrastructure of the country's statutory cities and towns. Meanwhile, people in Moradabad city celebrated the day in a very distinct way by practicing yoga in the morning and planting trees.
हम ये पेड़ पत्ती भी लाके घूम रहे हैं, इससे हमारा मैसेज ये जाता है लोगों को कि हमें एनवायरनमेंट को स्पॉइल नहीं करना चाहिए, एनवायरनमेंट खराब नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि एनवायरनमेंट से हमें बहुत सारी चीजें मिल रही हैं
कि हम लोगों को ये मैसेज दे सके ताकि वो और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा प्लांट ग्रो करें और हमारी जो यूथ एम्पावरमेंट है मतलब उन्हें और बढ़ावा देना चाहिए कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा ट्रीज ग्रो करें, क्योंकि हमारा फ्यूचर इन ट्रीज पे डिपेंडेंट है. अगर ट्रीज नहीं होंगे तो हमारे पास कुछ नहीं होगा, ना शेल्टर ना फूड.
The United Nations theme for this year is Connecting People to Nature, and which implores people to go outdoors into nature to appreciate its beauty.
The Muslim holy month of Ramadan is synonymous with the preparation of lip-smacking delicacies enjoyed by people from all religions. In India's southern Hyderabad city, a stew composed of meat is particularly prepared in the Islamic month, known to provide instant energy and is high in calories.
The ongoing holy month of Ramadan has brought with it the lip-smacking halim, which is the signature dish of India's southern Hyderabad city during the fasting month. Brick and mud ovens in front of eateries are a common sight, be it the centuries-old markets around the historic monument Charminar or other parts of the city. The laborious process of making the sumptuous dish in large vessels spans over 10 to 12 hours on firewood.
चारमीनार तो घूमने के लिए आए थे, तो घूमते घूमते आ गए पिस्ता हाउस, तो इसके वास्ते हलीम खा लिया टेस्ट करने के लिए, तो बहुत अच्छा लगा माशाल्लाह। तो इंशाल्लाह टेस्टी भी है और खाने में अच्छा भी लगा। चलिए।
Halim is primarily preferred for breaking the fast during iftar, the evening meal, due to its energizing nature, high nutritional value and soothing porridge-like texture. As the iftar time approaches, eateries serve piped hot halim garnished with caramelized onions, coriander and slices of lemon.
Well, that's the way towards in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Indian Space Agency launches its heaviest rocket and satellite. Afghan intelligence released new findings on Kabul funeral bombings. And Nepal Parliament to vote for new Prime Minister on Tuesday. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.